First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ruach Hadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing the rest of this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown, which we're well into, to this evening. Let's get some worship and praises in, my people. I hope you already have, because we definitely need to, because the Most High is worthy of it, as well as rest. Okay, a little bit late. Yesterday was kind of hectic, you know what I mean? I had to get some research together on these three brothers right here, our ancient brothers, our ancient ancestral brothers, 2 kings and 1 son of a king. King Saul, who was the united king of Israel, okay? King Herod, then we have Absalom, who was actually the son of David, king of Israel himself, okay? Now, last week we did about our ancestral sisters that were very wicked, you know what I mean? They wasn't the wickedest ones in the Bible, you know what I mean? It was just some that I happened to pick out, okay? This week, what we're covering, 2 wicked kings and 1 son, you know what I mean, of a king, but the son was wicked, okay? And that's Absalom right here on the end, okay? And every last one of these brothers right here met a horrible fate for their wickedness, okay? King Saul right here, for example, he refused the counsel of the Most High. When the Most High tell you to do something, that's what you were supposed to hearken to, listen and do. You understand? King Herod right here, well, the thing is with him, he killed a lot of baby boys trying to stop the Messiah from coming in, okay? That's very, very wicked, okay? Absalom on the end here. Now, first of all, let me tell you guys that these are just depictions, you know what I mean, of these actual ancestral brothers, okay? Just make that clear. But yeah, Absalom over here, okay? This brother right here. His wickedness was actually trying to dethrone his father, King David, and take over the throne, all right? And also, well, he killed his half-brother Amnon, all right, for raping his sister Tamar. He killed him. His brother was drunk when he had him killed, when he did kill him and everything. I can kind of understand that, because you don't rape your half-sister, you know what I'm saying? So I can kind of see that part, but what he did, as to trying to actually take his father's throne, that's actually what got him, the fate that he got. Yeah, he died a bad death, you know what I'm saying, for doing that, and what have you. And then, hey, even after all the treachery that he did to his father, David, his father, he still grieved that his son, he grieved his son's death. He said he would rather it had been him. That's what David said, okay? So with further ado, let's get into first. We're going to, go through King Saul, then we're going to go to King Herod, and then we're going to go to Absalom, Basically what we're going to do is, I already told you what these guys did, but we're still going to go over briefly what they did and, how they met their fate when it comes, to their demise, okay? So without further ado, let's get started. Here in 1 Samuel chapter 28, dealing with King Saul, okay? And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare, to fight with Israel. And Achish said unto David, Know thou assuredly assuredly, people, that thou shalt go out with me to battle, thou and thy men. And David said to Achish, surely thou shalt know that thy servant can do. And Achish said to David, therefore will I make thee keeper of my head forever. Now Samuel was dead, okay? And all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Okay. See, the thing with Saul, that was his problem. Instead of seeking what the Most High said do, he seek familiar spirits, and that, the Most High don't like that. And then see, he was very, very envious of David. You know what I'm saying? David was more, King Saul was the king, but the people liked David better, basically. And then he knew it wasn't going to be long before actually David took over the kingdom. All right. Now to continue here. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shanun. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul say the host of the Philistines, and when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Okay? See, the Most High turned his back on him. See? Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I might go to her and inquire of her. And his servants said to him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. Now, this is the infamous witch of Endor that he went to go and seek. See, and that's basically what his whole entire problem was, that the Most High didn't want him doing that. You see what I mean? Dealing with familiar spirits, dealing with necromancers, witches, okay? To continue, and Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. See, he had no business doing that. You don't speak for the Most High like that, because the Most High was against witches and all this old kind of stuff. You see, that's another thing where he went wrong. Now to continue, and Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, okay, yeah, we just read that. Now we're going to go here in verse 11. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. Samuel, get those two mixed up. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. Okay. And see, he was dressed up. You see what I'm saying? And I guess she finally figured out, who he really was. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up. And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Okay. See, like I said, he's getting himself in deep. Okay. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask me, seeing the Lord is departed from me, and is become thy enemy? And the Lord have done to me as he speak by me. For the Lord have rent the kingdom out of thy hand, and giving it to thy neighbor, even to David. See, see, Saul didn't like that. Saul didn't like that. See, because, like I said, he was very envious of David. And see, that's how the Most High was going to punish him. Okay. To continue here, it says, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore have the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. Ooh, he heard something he couldn't deal with. When he said tomorrow thou shalt be and your sons will be with me, that's saying, okay, y'all know Samuel already dead. See, consorting with these familiar spirits, he found out something he didn't want to hear, and that's his demise. Okay. And moreover, we read that. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all alone the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all day, nor all the night. See? So Saul know what his end was going to be. Let's go over here in 1 Samuel right here, and take it from 1 to 5. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines, and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, Saul's sons. Okay, just like Samuel told him what was going to happen. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Okay. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest the uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. He's talking about the Philistines. They were uncircumcised heathens. Okay. But his armor bearer would not, for he was so afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. Okay. He committed suicide. That's just how scared Saul was. So Samuel told him that's what was going to happen. And verse 5 here. And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. Okay, we'll do verse 6 here. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearers, and all his men that same day together, just like Samuel told him was going to happen. That's basically what it all boils down to. Okay, wow, was it worth it? You know what I mean? Now let's check out old King Herod right here. we're going to check him out a little bit, and see what, is all about with his wickedness. Pretty much already filled y'all in about this dude. Wasn't cool at all, We're going to start right here in Matthew 2:16. First, Matthew chapter 2, verse 13 on the 16, okay? And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Okay? Remember what I said about Herod. Herod was basically killing baby boys because he was trying to make sure he can stop the birth of the Messiah. He wanted to stop Yahushua from coming into the earth. And this is the reason why he was doing that. And the Most High wasn't having that. Okay? Now, continue. It says here, when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod. Okay? That it might be fulfilled which was spoken of by the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth. Wroth is mad, people, angered. And sent forth and slew all the children that were in the Bethlehem, and in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently acquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, In Ramah was their voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they are not. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt. Okay? In Acts 12:21, okay, we're going to start here, verse 18. Now, as soon as it was day, there was no small stir among the soldiers what was become of Peter. And when Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea, and there abode. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Sidon. But they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne, and made an oration unto them. And the people gave out a shout, saying, It is the voice of God, and not of man. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory. And he was eaten of worms, and gave up the ghost. But the word of God grew and multiplied. Okay? So he made this dude, he messed this dude up. You know what I'm saying? He gave him some kind of disease that was eating him from the inside out. You understand? Eating him from the inside out. And that was that. That was the end of Herod for his treachery. See? It don't pay, you know what I mean, to stand in the way of the Most High and what he sets forth to happen. You try to stand in there and try to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's you. You know, you're going to pay for that. And you will pay with your life. Just like these last two we just read about. Now we're going to check out old Absalom over here. Remember Absalom, like what I said about him. This one. son of King David. This dude was too ambitious for his own good. You see what I'm saying? Like I said about, Absalom, I don't really hold it against him for what he did to his half-brother, for raping his sister. You see what I'm talking about? His half-sister. But see, Absalom and Tamar, that's her name. Absalom and Tamar had the same mother and father, David, and they had the same mothers. But Amnon, he had a different mother. You know what I'm saying? And this dude raped his sister Tamar. They don't play that incest stuff. But like I'm saying, what I don't like about Absalom is he tried to dethrone his father. That's not cool. So let's check out his demise. 2 Samuel chapter 18 verse 1 to 15. And David numbered the people that were with him, and set captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them. And David sent forth a third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and a third part under the hand of Ittai, the Gittite. And the king said unto the people, I will surely go forth with you myself also. Okay, they preparing for war. All right, but the people answered, thou shalt not go forth, for if we flee away, they will not care for us, neither if half of us die will they care for us. But now thou art worth 10,000 of us. Therefore, now it is better that thou succor us out of the city. And the king said unto them, what seemeth you best I will do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came out by hundreds and thousands. And the king commended Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, deal gently for my sake with the young men, even with Absalom. And all the people heard when the king shall give all the captains charge concerning Absalom. So I'm thinking that, King David didn't want Absalom killed, okay? But this is out of King David's hands. This is the Most High's will right here, okay? To continue. So the people went out unto the field against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim, where the people of Israel were slain before the servants of David, and there was a great slaughter that day of 20,000 men. For the battle was there scattered over the face of all the country. And the wood devoured more people that day than the sword devoured. And Absalom met the servants of David. And Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under the thick boughs of a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away. So he got hung up in a tree, okay? And a certain man saw it, and told Joab, and said, behold, I saw Absalom hang in an oak. Okay? See, this is what I'm saying. Now, that was the Most High right there. It had to be. Verse 11, Joab said unto the man that told him, and behold, thou sawest him. And why didst thou not smite him there to the ground? And I would have given thee 10 shekels of silver and a girdle. And the man said unto Joab, though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in my hand, yet would I not put forth my hand against the king's son. See, This what this man know. Now I'm not gonna kill King David's son, because if I do that, he's gonna kill me. Regardless of what Absalom did, David didn't want, Absalom, put to death. But like I said, that's out of his hands. To continue, or in our hearing, the king's charge, thee and Abishai and Ittai, saying, beware that none touch the young man Absalom. See, he heard that, he remembered. Otherwise, I should have wrought falsehood against my own life. For there is no matter hid from the king, and thou thyself wouldest have set thyself against him. Then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 darts in his hand and thrust them through the heart of Absalom. So Joab killed him while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. And 10 young men that bare Joab's armor compassed about and smote Absalom and slew him. Okay. And basically that's what that all boils down to. That was the end of the son of David, Absalom. So like I'm saying, see, it don't pay to do wickedness. You understand what I'm saying? All these guys are these 2 kings right here and this son of the king, David. They all met a terrible fate. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what it all boils down to. I'm sorry, people, that I was late with this lesson, but I hope you guys, enjoy it nevertheless. But I want you guys to tell me what you think about it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.